This is KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the KCSN Defensive Film Breakdown, brought to you by Derrick Johnson's Defend the Dream Foundation. I am here, as always, with the man himself, Derrick Johnson, number 56, and our good pal, Big Mike DeVito. Fellas, Chiefs come away another week holding the offense under 20 points. That's always a successful thing. They are the only defense in the NFL so far that has allowed less than 18 offensive points in every single game that they've played in. When you guys were playing, did you guys have those sort of milestones that you wanted to play? I know that there was a year that you guys were both in there that you guys started hot, and every game was under 17 points allowed there to start the season. Is that a point of pride? That's something that you guys are talking about during the week, DJ?
Yeah, absolutely. When you play defense side of the ball, it's a blue collar job, and regardless of what the offense does, if they score a lot or don't score a lot, our job is to stop them. Period. And we always have that opportunity to do that and play complementary football. And when you have a chance to do that, and you can, and you're capable of, and willing to do it, it's a good look. It's a good look. And me and Mike have been a part of defenses that just say, man, hey, we're about to go out and just stop them. It's a good feeling. You definitely got to have a sense of confidence going out there as a defense, because offenses is just hard to stop. Football is hard regardless, and just with so much scheme stuff that they do nowadays, like to stop them on defense, it's kind of a big blow for the offense.
Yeah, those 3 years that I was there at the start of Andy Reid's era, 2013, 2015, those were the best defenses I've been on. And statistically, like I was on, in 2009, the Jets, we had the number one defense in the league.
Yeah.
2010, it had to be close to that again. And still, the players that were on that Chiefs defense from 2013, 2015, I've never seen talent like that at one time on the field collectively. Selfishly, if we finished the season 0-16, but we had the number one defense in the league, like I can sleep with that. I'm not exactly, but like that's what Matt. It honestly, guys, I guess thinking about it now, like, because that's all we can control, and so I care more about the defense. Like winning should be an implication of the defense playing that well. If it's not, well, I can sleep at night knowing that we're one of the best. And that defense in Kansas City when I was there was just nuts. And it's great to see that they're doing that same thing now, because we've talked about it, DJ, if you have that number one defense like we did with Mahomes and that offense, it's just,
the team just goes up, and that winning margin, you get a bunch of wins in that category at the end of the day. But yeah, just like you said, Mike, we are a little biased, and everybody's biased to their side of the ball. You want to do well, period. That's what you can control. I can't control what the offense does, cannot at all, but I can control what the defense does. And you leave that accountability on the organization or the other players on that, special teams or offense to get it right, because you gotta handle what you can handle, control what you can control, and then go from there.
That's it.
It definitely sounds like Andy Reid didn't have an offensive package for either one of you guys based on those comments right there.
No, that's not true.
No,
Yeah. All right. Let's get into some plays here, break down the defense a little bit. We are going to start with something that is fairly unique to today's NFL, but something that these guys are very familiar with, 22 personnel here. And what you're going to see, Chiefs are in a 4-3 under here. It's a YY formation with this 22 personnel. You're going to see this tight end go in motion. And I think it's very interesting the way that Spagnuolo coaches this time around. He brings Willie Gay Jr. down to the edge of the defense there. Guys, this is a very strong front to run into and run against, if you're kind of putting things together for the defense. DJ, we'll start with you. What jumps out to you before I even press play on this? What jumps out to you about this formation, about the direction things are going? Because I like hearing, especially these heavy personnel looks from the both of you, what you're seeing pre-snap.
There's not many gaps open. It's one of those things. It's almost like a goal line type of atmosphere. And Drew is going to be the guy right here, 2-3 right in the center. He's going to be the guy that helps out on flow, whoever gets out of the gap up front, because it's never perfect when you talk about defensive linemen. Just make sure that they're playing tough on the blockers and being able to penetrate. And Drew is able to play off of them at the end of the day. And hopefully this safety to the right is coming over to help out Drew and to have two stack guys. So we got a lot of people in the box. Just they have a lot of people. You talk about 22 personnel, but I like this. This is easy. This is easy ball. Because this is old school.
Yeah, no question. DJ, do you think, given the way the defense is set up, that there's really nobody behind those interior guys outside of 23, that Spags is thinking this sort of formation is probably more of an outside running thing? Like, it doesn't seem like that, there's not a lot of guys in the middle there.
That is true. That is true. But there's not a lot of gaps open, so this will start outside, but it's going to come back in. It's going to roll back in because there's a lot of things are going to happen when they push play right here. So,
yeah.
All right, here we go. We're going to push some play here, and you're going to get to see some of the way things flow out here.
There he is.
Yep, yeah, you called it, DJ. Drew Tranquil flow into the ball there, doing a good job. Shout out to Justin Reed sticking his nose in there to take the lead blocker too. This is just a good overall play.
Yeah, this is really good. I'm looking at the guys up front and having this is what I figured is some sort of outside zone play. You're a little bit, you have this, it's even formation. So initially I would have thought, okay, probably running to the defensive left, given that 89 motioned and he's off the ball, whereas 87 is up in line on the ball. But, you never can, you just can't guess. One thing 91 could do with an even formation like this is half into the guard. That would help him get out and at least get out in front of that center. 60 is a quick center, likes to sort of bubble to get that reach block. One thing he can do to help himself on that even formation is just half into that guard, 78 there, because he can play back if he has to, right? If that zone is going the other way, he doesn't really take himself out of the play.
Yeah.
But by halving into this, it puts himself right into it, and it makes things a little cleaner in there. Let me see 93 real quick, see how he does on this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And while you look at that, I think George does a great job. Drew does a great job playing off of George, because 5'6" right here is, this really messes up linemen a lot, because linemen like to line up and say, all right, we got defensive linemen here. We got, they like to, for a defensive line not to move. And when you move on the snap of the ball like this, and for Drew 2-3 right in the middle of the defense to know, okay, I'm flowing over top and I'm going to have a chance to get up and in because I have movement. And this is great job right here.
Yeah.
Just a heads up play by Drew, being a veteran player. And this is a big boy tackle right here. I like this.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see this. So I wonder, you think 93 is jamming right here? DJ? Look at his footwork.
Yes. So that is correct.
Yeah. So one thing 93 can do, you got to be a little bit careful. This is hard. Jamming away from a fast zone like this or into a fast zone, it can be hard to get into that gap. One thing you can do, now he does a good job sort of wrapping around, but you want to do your best to stay square. And sometimes what I would try to do is, instead of running with him, is pump the brakes and put him into the hole.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like that guy, he's moving fast. So instead of, risking getting displaced by just running sideways, square up, fight, and then use his body to push him into the hole. This, again, it's hard when you have a fast zone going away from you to jam and get into that B gap.
Yeah, Mike, that's a great technique, just because Mike's doing that because Mike wants to put him in a gap to secure that gap, but then say, hey, if it cuts back, I can make the play too.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, right. But to DJ's point, like he said, the guys are doing a great job playing off of each other. Like this, it just is natural for them. And this is usually very advanced in the defenses, being together for a while is their ability to know where they're going to be at and adjust based on. It's easy for young guys to say, okay, this is my gap, and to stay in that gap regardless of what happens. These guys are letting it flow. They're playing around each other and they're making plays. And again, that's the signs of a mature sort of more at a master level defense, which is good to see again this early on with this many young guys.
Yeah, especially with a Mike linebacker that's your backup Mike linebacker. Now, Drew Tranquill is a very, very significant player for this defense. I don't want to minimize his contributions, but he's playing like a guy that's been with this defense for a number of years, and he hasn't. So, yeah, really, really good job on that one. Want to kick over to this one before we kick into a couple plays that are tangentially related here. We're going to start with a wide view here and take a look. You're going to see downhill, and we're going to evaluate the front seven here. But Joshua Williams on the edge here makes a phenomenal tackle for a play that would have gone for massive yardage out here on the outside. We talk about making plays in space. This is a very difficult one to do. Not the only DB that made a significant tackle that really saved some points and some yardage, but a good play there. Now we can shift into kind of the defensive front here. Drew Tranquill, once again, getting downhill, filling the gap well on this one and forcing the cutback.
Drew does a great job just getting downhill, forcing the issue, making them make a decision, saying, hey, what you going to do? If not, I'm going to make a tackle in the backfield. And just playing complementing ball for his defensive back, just being able to close the space. I'm just telling you, this is a hard tackle out here. This is people do this all the time. They don't block cornerbacks. The receivers go crack the safeties and leave cornerbacks unblocked. And I just tell you, man, for you to come downhill like this, you help defenses. I'm telling you, for all young cornerbacks, if you can tackle, if you can close space and be aggressive, now when the ball comes to you, man, you help the whole defense out big time. This is great play by number 2.
DJ, this is kind of like a bunch to start, right? Or a little bit with the, what do you have?
And we can go wide so you guys can see it a little bit more. Condensed formation.
Yeah, that crunch look, that duel.
Yeah. How much does it mess you up when was that a receiver or a tight end that motioned across?
As a tight end.
Yeah. But does that mess you up when you're sitting there? Because right now I'm thinking, okay, maybe some type of crack toss or something. And then all of a sudden that guy comes across and it throws off my whole analysis.
Yeah. Well, for defensive linemen, you that's a good thing. Y'all don't have to see too much, so that y'all don't have to worry about that. But inside linebackers and DBs, we have to work with them, because if they were to pass the ball, we have to pass off stuff depending on if it's a man-to-man or if it's zone, that we have to scoot over. So y'all stay in y'all gaps, and we'll make everything right in the back end. Because I mean, it was for 3-by-1, and now it went to a 2-by-2 on that jet motion or whatever, that fly motion. So it does mess us up some. But Drew does a great job by saying, no, you know what? It looks like a run. I'm trusting myself, and I'm going to go take it. This was a great job. Even though he didn't make the play, it's still a great play. If I'm his coach, I'm saying, hey, keep doing this. We're gonna make some plays at that.
Yeah. No, that was good. And everybody up front was good. I mean, it was man blocking across the board. Everybody played their techniques well, and that's one of the reasons why this thing bounces. Now, obviously, Drew helps there, but they get you guys knocked back. Whoever was on the tight end did a good job. What is that, 51 there?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Always.
I feel like we talk about him every week, man. Pay the man.
Yeah, that's right. I do. I look at some of the footwork and I wonder, are they supposed, like 91 sort of, he has like a jam step inside. I'm assuming that's probably what he's supposed to do. You want to be careful though, if he's not supposed to do that, taking that inside step like that.
Yeah, I think he's kind of sealing his job off. He's sealing that gap. But I get what you're saying. Mike likes more from, if I'm speaking for him, likes more efficient movement. Like, hey, yeah, I'm already kind of shade inside a little bit. I can take care of this gap. I'm not scared of that. Instead of Because if there's a play where he's reaches, or he can get really reached out of that A gap if you're going to the right. Yeah,
that's exactly right, DJ. Yeah, no. So if they would have run whatever that outside zone that they ran on the first one, and he's not supposed to do this, then that could be a problem because now he's going inside with the first step and he can get that center's quick. But yeah, you're right. You're saying he's lining up in that 2-eye to conceal that he's really a shade, and on the move he's going down there. Yeah, that's just wise. That's really smart stuff by this defensive line, and it's good that Spags has given them the freedom to do that.
Yeah, that's the word, freedom, which is good because, like I said, man, I'm telling you, offensive linemen, they hate when guys move around. It's just like, man, it's like they want you to be right there, like they're drawing on the board and saying, "Hey, this guy's right here. Block this up." Right. We're like, no, we're gonna start right here, but we're gonna end right here. That's hard for big guys to move on the snap of the ball.
Yeah, no, you have a 2-eye and a 6. I mean, it's just, you can see 77 he's like, he kicks out, but he's not really sure what to do in there.
Yeah, it takes that extra second there. I mean, he's able to take care of Tranquil there, but damage is already done by this point.
He's a good player. He's a good player.
Yeah. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. All right. Let's switch over to a couple plays here. We talked about this 3-3-5 look where this odd front where you kick the two outside linebackers down. This is Drew Tranquil and Leo Chanel, and you got Jack Cochran filling in for Nick Bolton just in this. Basically, what you've got here is you're going to see, and we'll just let it play here and let you guys talk about it, but they've run so much of this year that teams are trying to take advantage of the width a little bit more. Yeah. And Leo Chanel's just not having it on this play whatsoever. Does a fantastic job. Stay in gap sound, stay into the outside, DJ. I mean, this is just great eyes, great vision of what's coming.
Yeah. I mean, they they have to hand this ball off because it's not much room in the inside when you line up this front like that. This is a good run front right here. This is good run front. But at the same time, and I always say this, the guy on the edge of the ball is the most important guy on the run defense. And maybe he's not, he doesn't get a lot of tackles or whatnot, but I'm telling you, when you're on the edge of the defense, you're the most important because if you don't do your job, nobody else can do their job. And I got to tell you, inside, and Mike can tell you, there are times where Mike messes up or I mess up or something happens in the middle and we can cover for each other. On the outside, when you get out leverage, it's over.
Yeah, absolutely. And DJ's right. This is what is this? This is a dime version of the 46 front.
Yeah.
So one thing when I first learned this defense, one of the first things the coaches told us was, look, you can't run inside on this. Yeah. So what you're going to get is outside runs. Boss, what the hell would they bring the tight end down and pull the tackle? Just outside zone type stuff because you can't run inside.
Right.
DJ's exactly right. If we come out there in this defense, if they have an inside run, they're checking out of it. And they're probably, they're going to do something like this. And that's why that outside guy is so pivotal because those guys are the ones that are going to get a chance to make the play. This is a damn hard play to make too. I mean, that just happens so fast.
Yeah, it happens so fast. And it's in space too. Whenever you tackling in space, man, it doesn't even have to be a hard hit. Just get the guy down, man, and it's just, live the fight another day. And that was great play. Great play.
Now look at 9-5. This is something that people can't do, but I would tell him, no, do that. If they ran the ball inside, he's making this play.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. If they ran the ball, he still can make the play with that.
It's over.
He can.
Now, 99% of the 3 techs in the league, if they do this, like if I did this, that play is running for 30 yards. You know what I mean? But 95 is so quick and can react back so fast that this is actually a viable, like a really good technique for him. Yeah. Whereas with me, I would have been fighting like hell to stay inside of 75.
I mean, what's going through the mind of 75 is he's basically right here in the play.
Yeah. A play wasn't going inside.
Well, 75 has to come off hard because you got this big superstar bear out here and you got to cut him off. if you don't come down, if you come down soft, he's going to make the play regardless. So you have to take a chance and try to go dig him out. But again, he's big, he's fast. It's Chris Jones.
It's Chris Jones. Yeah.
Who used to do that this smooth was Haloti Ngata. Him and Haloti were very similar in this respect, where they could just throw in this little that little Olay and be in on. J.J. Watt used to do the same thing too. But even J.J. Watt would get caught, and they would get a pickup on Houston. Like, Chris doesn't really get caught.
No,
he does this and makes the play.
Yeah, he embraces that movement. Like, all right, I'm gonna do, like, if you cut me off, cool. I'm gonna go around you and just get it out.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, last one that we got here. Once again, looking at this 3-3-5 defense a little bit more. Seeing kind of the condensed formation here. So once again, you're going to see you guys talk about how you can't really run in the middle against this, and you especially can't run in the middle when you've got a blitzing Mike linebacker like Leo Chanel on this play. Like, talk us through this one, guys.
Oh, man. Oh, I love this. It's all about timing, right? And sometimes when you have a blitz put on, coach calls a blitz, sometimes you need to look at the play clock. And because there are teams that says, down, set, and the play clock's at, 14 or 13, and then you show too early, they're like, hey, guys, we got a blitz. They're going to pick them up. They'll just, they'll make it happen up at the offensive line. But if you wait till the last second and time it up, man, this is big time right here. I love this. This great movement.
And like we just said, too, I mean, you can't run inside with this defense.
Nope.
And so even if he doesn't hit that gap, this play isn't going anywhere. I mean, there's just too many guys inside.
Look at Chris.
Look at Chris. Look at Cochran. Both on the outside here. Yeah.
Right now you have to call some sort of audible to get the play going outside. Run a crack toss. Run something like that.
Yeah.
You can't run inside. I think 51 does a nice job. He's not used to being down there in a 3 technique on those big boys. He gets up the field, holds his gap. Obviously 9-5. Those guys inside do a great job, but it's just, again, it's just a cluster F in there because there's nothing you can do.
Or you know what? Just wherever 9-5 is, go the other way.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You got Mike Dana, 3 technique. He's not used to, he's used to that. But I'm just saying, like, if there's a matchup you like, it's your guard on Mike Dana, 3 technique. You run right into the teeth of that.
I mean 75 is definitely coming back to the huddle and saying, hey, guys, let's stop running at Chris. Like, in this formation.
Oh, man, that's bad.
Chris makes it look so easy, too.
Yeah.
And, again, I love the way he doesn't chase, right? He feels that down block. He doesn't chase. He plays back into it, and he's right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that the thing that matters is that this happened earlier in the game. They kept timing stuff to try and get downhill with the linebackers and blitz in the A gap. And the most pivotal play on defense is that fumble out of this very same formation with Leo Chanel standing mugged up in the A gap. Center knows he's got to get out quick. They set it all up with plays like this earlier on in the game. And so it does. It cascades through the entire game, Mike.
Yeah, no. And another thing I like too, Craig, and forgive me, I'm not sure if we've mentioned this before on here, but you can see the way Spags has his 3 techniques basically in 4 eyes. And I can't remember the details of why, but I remember talking to the offensive line coach. Who's the old line coach? Kansas City.
Andy Heck.
Heck, sorry. And him talking about how 4 eyes just throw off the entire scheme up front. How just for whatever reason, blocking schemes get jacked up with 4 eyes. And so I love that Spags, has this 46 front, but his 3 techs are so wide that they're basically 4 eyes. Mm-hmm. And so that's another thing that plays into this. It's just not clear how to block this play side 3 technique, given where his alignment is.
Yeah, I love playing behind 4 eyes. That's where I made my money. That was good because they're so wide. They can't really get double teams as much, and if you do double team on it, you just make more space for me to go hit the gap. You know what I mean? Because they're so wide. So yeah.
Well, it throws the double team off too, because now the drive guy is now the post guy.
Yeah.
It throws off their timing. It throws off. So, what I would do a lot of times, especially with the younger offensive line, is start in a 3 technique and then right towards the end of the snap count, move out to a 4-eye to force them to try to adjust quick to that because it just changes. Just that little movement can change everything.
Yeah.
I don't know how you watch Chris. I mean, I don't know how a team watches this and says, oh, yeah.
You don't.
Again, it looks like 75 not trying, and he is trying. It's just that's not good. 95 is just like, get out of here.
Look, he tries to. Oh man, I mean, he tries to. I don't know what he's doing. He beat him so bad. I don't know what 75's trying to do to him.
Like, is it trying to kick him out wide? Like, what's the goal of this block? He gets inside of Chris, and Chris just kind of just discards him, throws him aside there.
The last player I was with that was like this was Chris Jenkins when I was with the Jets. There was just nothing you could do. He was just too dominant. And I'm almost certain 75 is like a Pro Bowl guy. Like he's not some slappy, you know what I mean? He's a good player. And Chris just makes it look so like I watch Chris and think, I could keep playing. I could go back.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this week's KCSN Defensive Film Breakdown. Once again, as always, go down here into the link if you are on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever it is. Click the donate button to DJ's Defend the Dream Foundation. We very much appreciate that. We will be back next week to cover the Minnesota Vikings and their passing attack, but we'll see what they bring to the table. Everybody's been a little bit, heavier personnel against the Chiefs. Maybe watching all this tape, seeing the way that they're defending heavy personnel is going to knock some teams out of that again. We'll see what comes of that. I thank Mike DeVito, Derrick Johnson for joining me each and every week. I am Craig Stout. Be kind to each other, and we will catch you later.